Hello, my name is Edwin Edebiri, and I am the Chief Happiness Officer with the I Am Happy Project and also the Happy Neighborhood Project. I want to say thank you very much for joining us this morning. Every Monday, we do the Happy Monday call, and my goal is to help individual start the week on a foundation of happiness. And I started this after coming across a study that some folks just have difficulty getting started on Monday, and we wanted to do something about it. Now, if you're not able to join us live every Monday, then join us via YouTube. If you go to youtube.com/ask the CHO, and that is youtube.com ASK THECHO. So /ask the CHO, and you'll be able to get up the latest. So today, folks, in spite of all the stuff that's been going on around us, natural disaster and everything, I wanted to talk about hope and happiness. Yes, hope and happiness. And I think this might be my second take on this subject, but I think it's a very crucial one in this area that we are. So we are going to talk about hope and happiness. And I'll give you a quick example what happened as I'm getting into the elevator coming up to my office. And being on the 16th floor kind of give a little advantage, so you spend a little bit more time with people because there are two elevators to the building. One goes from 0 to 12, and then the other one goes from 14 to 25. So since we're on the 16th floor, we get a little bit longer ride, and we can develop a little bit more relationship. So I had a few people in the elevator with me coming this morning, and so, of course, I'm my happy self, and I say Happy Monday to them. They look at me kind of weird, and apparently they have not experienced me before. Most people have by now in the building. And so, but the ladies came, and she replied, I don't know. That was the first response she had. I don't know. And then she quickly followed, I hope so. Folks, that's the difference. And it's that hope that probably brought her to work today. Okay, that hope is all there is to really happiness, because it helps us to sustain our level of happiness. Now, Dalai Lama put it in a very simple way. He said the very purpose of our life is happiness, which is sustained by hope. Folks, can you think about it for a moment? If you totally lose hope, that's trouble, that's problem, that's disaster already. And so we have to figure out different way to cultivate hope, because in the process of doing so, we are cultivating our happiness. We are sustaining our happiness. We are growing our happiness. So that's what we're going to focus on. How do we do that? And the good news is it's not that complicated. But before I go into, how we can sustain hope and how hope can help us sustain happiness, let me touch on a few things. Because as hope is very crucial in happiness, it can also lead to anxiety. It can also lead to unhappiness. So now you might say, okay, what's going on here? Well, let me put it this way. Sometimes people might say, well, Edwin, I have been hoping for a long time and nothing has happened. And we might even get to a point where we might even start to lose hope in hope itself. Don't do that. And I'll tell you why people might tend to do that. It's because we feel like the future is guaranteed. So when you make plans and you have hope and it's supposed to happen exactly the way you want it to happen, and if it doesn't, you start to lose hope in your ability. Folks, I think most of you have heard about this before, that the only thing that truly is constant in life is change. That's all. And so you have to make your plan flexible. So let's say, yes, they're players now, and they're working very hard, and everybody's eyeing to win the Super Bowl. Every team, at least every team that is really, really together, they've been working very hard. But at the same time, they know it's only one team that's going to win the Super Bowl. Now, do you lose hope if you get to that finals and you just come a little bit short? No. Or you're trying to start a business and you put in everything you got into that business, and then it didn't come out exactly the way you wanted. Do you lose hope? No. Or you're minding your business, life is good, and then the hurricane came through and wiped everything out. Do you lose hope? No. Because you see, once you start to understand that nothing is permanent, not success, not failure. Okay, I know that sometimes, when people fail or when things are not going well, it seems like it's going to be forever. No, it's not. Nothing is permanent. That's why it's life. It's fluid. And so once you understand that, now I know some people might say, wait a second, if that's the case, then there's no need to plan. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying plan with the hope that things can change. And then you're not surprised. I define stress as when reality and when your projection and reality comes together, what you anticipate and reality comes together, that's zero stress. You can't be stressed. Now, when what you anticipate and what reality is don't come together, then you get stressed. So when you are hopeful and you know that nothing in the future is guaranteed, then you're not bump up too much. Sure, you bump up because it didn't come out the way you want it, but you are not bump up too much because you know that's part of the process. So in other words, yes, make plans, but also build a little flexibility into that plan, just in case. Because sometimes you might plan to go north, and the wind might take you northeast or northwest. Don't resist it too much. Maybe that's where you're supposed to be going in the first place. So, folks, once you understand that the future is not guaranteed, and I know some of you have heard me use this saying, this is one of my saying, okay, is that do not allow the past nor the future to rob you of the present. So when you are hopeful for today, you can truly enjoy the present. You can see that your happiness is built in a series of presents. That is series of now. And then if you do well, I know sometimes when we talk about living the present, some people misunderstand that. They think you should be playing, it's not all play. When you live in the present, you are manifesting your best in everything you do. So if you're at work, you're giving it the best that you've got. If you're at play, you're giving it the best that you got. If you're at rest, you're giving it the best that you got. You're manifesting the best in the present. And if you do that on a consistency basis, your future plan will be real, will be realized. And if it was not, guess what? Then you make adjustment. There's nothing concrete because the future is not guaranteed. Sure, I know you have spent a lot of time. You have calculated everything. It's supposed to be a certain way. I understand that part. But what if it is not? Is that the end of the world? No. There's lessons to be learned, yes, and new plans to be developed, yes, with new flexibility, yes, and with enhanced hope. So if you do it like that, guess what? It's going to be fun. You never lose hope in hope. You know that, yes, I'm going to give it the very best I got, and I'm going to hope for the best, And if it doesn't happen like that, pick up the pieces and do it again. There are folks right now that have been devastated with the hurricane. Now, some people might say, well, why me? And totally give up because it's tiring, it's frustrating, it's painful, and all those emotions. And then there are those who say, wait a second, this might be a new beginning. I can either move to a whole new place and start a whole new life, or I can rebuild where I am and start fresh. Folks, how exciting it is when the hurricane can usher in a new beginning. And they allow you the opportunity to be refreshed with new set of hope. So, a few things that I want to leave you with. Number one, folks, always visualize yourself healthy. Visualize yourself healthy. Folks, if you can talk yourself into good health, I'm telling you, it strengthens your ability to be hopeful. And the fact that you are hearing my call right now, or if you're listening to this recording in the later time, then that means you have 100% track record. You have beat all the odds. You are still here. And that means you have a good chance, based on your track record, of doing well in the future. Surround yourself with good smell. It gives you hope. Folks, how many of you have smelled the roses? I mean, literally smell the roses. There is no way that you can be smelling the rose and not be hopeful. So surround yourself with good smell. And then dance. Now, even if you can't stand up and dance on the wheelchair, dance on your bed, dance somewhere, dance somehow. Just dance. Then you have to be flexible. Don't be too rigid. Because, like in the earthquake, when those mason stones are too rigid, they just break, they shattered. When you put a little flexibility in your plan, guess what? You go with the flow. And then finally, folks, don't journey alone. We are social beings. We're not supposed to be journeying alone. Let your friends help you. Let your family help you. Let your loved ones help you. Let the community help you. So that's what we got for today, hope and happiness. And I wish you a lot of both. And because remember now, whatever we focus on is going to grow. And when you start to nurture and nourish and yourself, you're going to be a little bit more hopeful, and you're going to sustain a little bit more happiness. So that's what we got. My name is Edwin Edebiri, the Chief Happiness Officer. Folks, help us to share this. If you like what you hear, help us to share. We keep it very brief. Every Monday morning, try to be under 15 minutes so that you can listen in and go back to work. But share this with people that you come across. You might help somebody just gain a little hope again. And in the process, sustain a little bit more happiness. So I'm going to unmute, and we're going to do our tradition. I do this. Everything we focus on is going to grow. We're going to wish each other a happy Monday, and I'm going to count to 2. 1, 2.
Happy Monday.
All right. Thank you very much, and you guys stay happy.
You too.